Wow, holy.
Hey, what's up? Look at that, 6:30 right on the nose. Oh, you couldn't plan it any better. What's happening? It's Monday. That only means one thing. There's 4 more days to the week. I know. And also, of course, the Steve Squared Show. Brought to you by Celsius. A cool, refreshing, energizing drink to get your Monday and your week off to a fantastic start. And Flex Seal. You have something that needs flexing and sealing, you get yourself a can of Flex Seal. Another proud non-sponsor of the Steve Squared Show, and a base and beautiful holder for my co-host today. Joining you live, not remote, is the one and only, the man, the legend.
Hi, it's Richard here.
That's right, it's Richard.
Let's put this baby to work.
Oh my God, let's put this baby to work. And we are going to put this baby to work. The Richard Simmons, we should change the name of the show because Richard is starting to make more appearances than Steve. I told Steve, I'm going to have to let you go. You have been replaced by a 6-inch bobblehead. But not any 6-inch bobblehead, of course, the Richard Simmons bobblehead. This is great. I told you, I got this a couple of weeks ago or a week ago at TJ Maxx. They have everything there. I mean, if you can't find a little Richard Simmons bobblehead, what can you get? These are the kind of wasting time things I shop for. But I only do it for you, for the squares out there, the people I love. We got a lot of stuff to do today on the Steve Squared Show. First and foremost, let's talk sports. I'm a little frazzled here. I'm just coming down from the Knick game. I was watching it as I was preparing for the Steve Squared Show. So, you know how when you go for your stress test at the doctor and they put all the pads on you and all the sensors and they put you on the treadmill to see if your heart's working? You don't need to do that anymore. What you do is you schedule your appointment during a Knick game. You don't need any sensors. You do it right like that. They monitor your heart rate as the Knicks go on. Yes, so the Knicks had an afternoon fiesta at the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. And of course, it was Martin Luther King Day. That's why, always on Martin Luther King Day, they have it's always a big day at Madison Square Garden. They do a lot of great events for Martin Luther King Day, and the Knicks play a matinee. Okay, kids are off from school, the place is jumping, and it's exciting. And the Knicks were playing the Toronto Raptors, a crappy team. Not a crappy team, but not really that great. And of course, the Knicks lost. They had a big lead in the fourth quarter, and of course, as persona grata, they do this is what, you know how people say this is how I identify myself as. The Knicks identify themselves as a blowing fourth quarter lead team. If that's a box they can check when they're filling out their application, that's what they, as a group, should check. Because yes, once again, the Knicks, they had a moment. They tied it to go into overtime, so they just prolonged the agony. It's like if you're going to break up with somebody, whatever negative thing's going to happen in your life, you're going to get fired at work. Don't you just want to rip it off like a Band-Aid? Get it over with. I can't stand you. I want a divorce. Get out of my life. You're fired. Get out. Don't go into overtime and waste another 10 minutes of my life watching this futile effort, because you know what's going to happen at the end of the day, don't you, Richard?
Why wait another minute?
That was so perfect. It's random sayings. He goes, why wait another minute? Exactly. Why wait another minute to watch this Trek? So, unfortunately, the Knicks went down. Okay, whatever. But, hey, Big Blue garnered a win yesterday in Minnesota against the Vikings, the Giants, the G-Men, the Big Blue. What a really good game, I have to say. I have to give it to the Giants, man. They, fantastic. Straight through. Daniel Jones at QB. He reminded me a lot of those years with Eli Manning at the helm. Remember when Eli would do those really, just had that poise and that really good mannerisms in those big clutch situations. So Eli was flexing. So Daniel Jones was really doing a great job. And if you remember, a few years ago, the Giants got the number 1 pick, and they get Saquon Barkley, and he's this amazing running back. I think he's out of Notre Dame. Amazing, right? And it's supposed to turn the whole Giants around. And this was a few years ago. And it's he's had injuries. They haven't been that good. One guy can't do that in football anyway. He finally had his moment and was fantastic. He scored 2 touchdowns. So now the Giants, and this sets up, this is how I tie everything together. The Giants will go into Philadelphia, into a raucous Philly, gross, Philadelphia, boo, Philadelphia cheese-steaking, slobbering, Rocky Stallone movie playing, fortress into the frozen tundra of what is Philadelphia. And they will have to try to win another road game. And I think that's going to be a real, because that's a big rivalry, especially in football. Not so much in baseball, but in football, it's a rivalry. I mean, the Giants and Eagles, that's a long history there. A lot of big games, so this is going to be another big one. And why I say this is I tie it together, because if you remember, there was a movie called Invincible, starring Mark Wahlberg playing the character Vince Papale, who was this kind of, it was almost a Rudy story, but same type of idea. He was this walk-on when the Philadelphia Eagles were terrible. They held a day of walk-on tryouts. He was the only guy. He was a local bartender, and he made the team. And, so they made this movie starring Mark Wahlberg and Elizabeth Banks, my favorite. I love Elizabeth Banks. This is going to be the show of blonde actresses, by the way, because we're going to feature, I'm going to get into later, feature 3 blonde actresses. Charlize Theron, Margot Robbie, and Nicole Kidman. And I guess they're blonde depending on the day of the week. And of course, but I throw Elizabeth Banks in there, and she's probably my favorite of those 4. She's terrific. She's great in everything. But I had this thing here, which I thought was funny, and I'll get more into it, but Invincible, the movie, was 2006. There was also another movie called Invincible, so not to be confused if you start looking up this movie. There's another Invincible movie. It was a World War II German Nazi film. It was some kind of Third Reich, whatever, another crazy movie in 2002. I don't even know who was in it. But go to the 2006 one. See, I'm going to do a thing later on movies that have the same title, because there has been many movies with this same title. I don't understand. You can't think of another title? Is it gotten that bad in Hollywood? They've used up all the titles to bad movies. I am so excited. Forget the sports. Forget Richard. Hold on for a second. Forget Mark Wahlberg, Elizabeth Banks, and all the rest. Remember, I have been so concerned with Kermit, my plant. And I think, look how good Kermit's doing. Green leaves, beautiful, moist soil. I think, you talk about a green thumb, I have a green hand. And it's not because of the cold weather and that my hands are doing so poorly. I've been trying that cream that I told you about, Skin Fix. It's helping, but it's just, and it hasn't been brutally cold. We've been pretty fortunate. But this looks great with the background behind Richard, Kermit right there, and me and the Governor's Comedy Club sign. I like this. This has the makings of some kind of movie or silly series, right? Myself and Richard. Me and Richard. Me and the Sims. I like this. But look how good. Look at the beautiful, vibrant green leaves. You remember Kermit had falling leaves, and I was getting upset. I said, oh no, time for a new plant. But no, a lot of resiliency, and it's looking lovely. The leaves feel nice, so I'm very positive about that plant. I think he's, Kermit's on the mend. It looks great. It's standing majestic. Speaking of plants and greenery, my folks, they always like to get, think of things for me to do. This is their hobby. This is what they're good at. They're very good at this. It's a game. It's almost like a game. What project, adventure, just enigma can we put Steve in today? So over the weekend, I deal with the tree guys because they have to get. Now this is part and part because of the problem we had last year in the summer, if you remember. We had these birds that were nesting directly above our porch. They were herons, not to be confused with the heron, which is a musical instrument in the 18th century. These were herons, okay? And big birds that, again, not a big bird to be confused with the big bird on Sesame Street. These were giant birds that kind of molt around the South Shore, around the water area, and they get their fish, and they nibble, and they bring it. So we've had this. It was almost it was a cross between a science fiction Alfred Hitchcock movie and a comedy, because every day the porch would be covered in bird dew and eggshells and all of the rest of the nonsense. I even saw a little fish once. So, okay. So I called the tree guy last year, and he comes over and he says, I can't touch that limb, the nest, because it's an active nest. We don't want to upset them. We'd rather upset you. Okay. I don't want to upset the birds either. Don't look at me like that. Don't, you too.
You can do it!
I tried, but I needed the tree guy. So I wish the voice was louder on him. But anyway, what can you expect for $3.99? My mom always says, you get what you pay for. And my sister has that teacher saying, which I always like, you get what you get, don't get upset. I love all these teacher sayings, right? So anyway, the tree guy comes down, he can't do anything about it. Okay, fine. So now it's winter, they say call back now, I call back, and the guy comes down. And he remembers me, he said, did you ever find out what kind of birds? We're going to take that limb down? Beautiful. Yes, that's what we're going to do in the surrounding limbs so they don't get any ideas. These birds are smart now. They'll just move next door, right? So we want to clear that whole area so I don't have to be admitted into into severe help for the next spring and summer. So the guy right away, as any good salesman, he goes, and what about the rest of the tree? Did you ever think about removing the whole tree? Which is only $4,000. Or he says, you got a lot of dead wood. Now, I know I got a lot of dead wood. I got a lot of friends that are dead wood. I thought he was referring to a few of my friends, possibly co-hosts of the show. But it seems he was talking about the tree. So I said, well, what is going on here? So he says, you see that that limb, that could, you could be mowing the lawn. That limb could fall and kill you. So I said, well, if that happens, I'll just have to live with it. He didn't get the joke. I said, look, these trees have been here forever, however long. These are like giant, massive oak tree, whatever they are. They've been there for hundreds of years. I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to gamble. I'm going to say, no bueno. I'm going to say, hopefully. Now, fingers crossed, because, but that's the idea. Okay. Then I say, he gives a quote, then the next guy comes. I use cheap Charlie's, whatever. It's not so cheap. So he comes down, and he gives me the same song and dance. What are you going to get rid of what about the tree? You really should. Everything is, the sale for these guys is the precipice of frightening you, right? We want to scare the bejeebas out of you, or the money out of you, if it will, for you to fork over the dinero so we can remove your tree. Now, for some reason, tree removal and all of it is very expensive. So you have to pick and choose your branches carefully. So I said, look, if it was up to me, I would climb up on the roof myself and remove the limbs, but I'd probably end up in a body cast. So, right, Richard?
Let's get up and sweat and shout.
That's true. So anyway, I'd be sweating and shouting if I got rid of that limb. I'd be on my back. So, no. It doesn't. So we're deciding now, Cheap Charlie or the other guy, we'll figure it out. I think we're going to go with the other guy. Cheap Charlie, I don't know about Cheap Charlie either. He might not be so bueno. So that's where we stand. So that I like to fill you in on my weekend. I'll give you one other thing I was doing this weekend. I'm very excited. So I come across this old chess set, right? Look at this. Hey, I'm right through the thing. I come across this Peanuts chess set that I got a long time ago from my family, and so I say, I want to. A couple of times I dabbled with trying to learn how to play chess, but I didn't have the patience. So I said, I'm locking in this weekend. I want to start learning a little bit how to play chess, and this is really cool. Look at this. Not only look at this board you get. Let's see if I can show you the board. You get a beautiful board by the Peanuts. Look how colorful and beautiful it is. Can you see that? It's nice, right? Fun. That's fun. Try to give you a closer look. So I have the board. Now, that's not all. You got to see this. This is really cool. Look at some of these pieces. I mean, these are great. So Snoopy's are the pawn. They're the pawn. Okay, if you know chess, they're the pawn. What else do we have here? And then you have Lucy. I don't know what Lucy. This is not Lucy. This is, I forgot what her name is, but this is not Lucy. Where's Lucy? Here's Lucy. Lucy's, I think Lucy is the rook of the chess pieces. Woodstock is the knight. Right? Very cool. Oh, no, Woodstock is the rook. And Charlie is, this is Linus. He is the bishop. Very cute. And of course, Charlie and Lucy are the king and queen. She's the queen. And this is fantastic. Let me show you Charlie Brown. And Charlie is the king. So really cool stuff, right? So that I was learning, and I'm really getting the hang of it. I was playing a little bit against the computer and learning and things like that. If you want to learn, I'll tell you go on to chesskids.com is really good because it teaches you really in a basic way. What I made the mistake of doing was just YouTubing, and I got some kid in India that was like some kind of chess champion. He was, already teaching me the Philoscopian method of chess, and I said, wait a minute, I don't know what's going on here. I had to go to the Chess for Kids and the cartoon character. That was more my speed. I don't want to know, we're searching for Bobby Fischer or one of these chess. I'm not one of these, guru chess players. Oh my gosh! Hold on a second. I almost forgot to plug us in. That would have been a bit of a disaster. There we go. Good thing my signal just came up and said, hey, what are you doing, silly? Plug us in. So I went on to chessforkids.com or just chess.com is also really good because they teach you strategy, even if you're a beginner. And when you play against the computer, you could play against your level. They can give suggestions on moves and things like that if you made the right move. So you're learning, and it's very good. And all of life should be like that. They should have, should I make this decision? Well, right? They should have something like that, a decision app. Something that helps you before you end up always ruining your life and making blunders. Should I do this? It's a yellow light. Should I go? And then you see the outcome on your phone. Right? Everybody would be so much happier. There'd be less mistakes. Less car accidents for sure. Oh, that's good. Ooh, this has been sitting out. I'm sorry, I usually remember I've been opening them on the show for a long time. Now I've been having them open before the show. I can't even wait for the show anymore. I'm so fiending I have to open it before. So anyway, how you all doing? Like I said, you could see my thumb is, I don't know if you could see, it's really bad, but my fingers get cracked. It's terrible. I should use some of the Flex Seal on my thumb. You think, let me see if this stuff would work. I should flex seal my cracked thumb and see if that helps. That'll put me right into a hospital. Right, Richard?
This is so much fun.
It is so much fun. Richard's enjoying himself. I don't know about the rest of you. So I hope you're all having. I think we're doing pretty good. The way I look at the winter is I try to break it down into segments or intervals. So we're at January 16th. So I figure we got through December. The next week or 10 days looks pretty good for the weather. So if we can make it through January or at least get close to February, then you're almost home free. Because that's 2 long months. December, holidays, a lot of things going on. And then January, of course, 31 days of just long, dark days. You notice it's starting to get lighter later, right around 5. There was a beautiful sky the other day. I showed my dad. It was an orange sunset. Gorgeous. I don't know about you guys. Last Thursday, I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a while. Last Thursday, there was a thunderstorm. In January, with lightning. I was freaking out. I think it's kind of like that climactic shift they were talking about in the movie The Day After Tomorrow. When Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal, and he goes, I think there's a climactic shift. We're headed for a new ice age. The polar caps are melting. It's all the fresh salt water we've been spilling into the oceans. It's coming, my friends. But I don't care as long as it's warm. See, I don't care about... For me, I want to understand. I want global warming to be actual warming. Because all I care about is my fingertips, and they're cracking and bleeding, and that hurts. Okay. I got a lot of stuff going on. Oh, let's see. I want to check something here for you all. Oh, okay. I was just... While I was checking, I wanted to see if our buddy Jeff was going to call in. We didn't have any movies per se. I don't think he saw Babylon. But I told you I can't go see that movie. I know Steve was trying to drag me to that or wants to see it. I liken it. I saw the trailer and I tell you what it is. It's a updated version of The Great Gatsby with Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire, where there's a mix of over accents of the 20s of that time period. You know, The Great Gatsby and the old curly hairs and all the nonsense, and they mixed in some hip-hop music to try to make it more now. Babylon does the same thing, and I can't watch it. I refuse to watch it, and it's over 3 hours. What's with these 3-hour movies? Do they not hire editors anymore? Nobody wants to sit for 3 hours. I'm sorry. Unless it's the Steve Squared Show, you don't want to sit for 3 hours, do you? Do you really? I mean, I know you want to get your money's worth, but more is not necessarily better. And I think these directors and writers have to understand that. More is not better. Good is good. Better is better. More is not better. It's about quality, not quantity. Right? Do I have to teach you everything on this show? I feel like I'm always preaching on this show. Trying not to. Hey, let me give you a would you rather real quick. Would you rather swing on a swing? What would you rather do? Where were my would you rathers? I thought I had some would you rathers. I don't know. Anyway. Oh! So, the Golden Globes, speaking of the Golden Globes, which nobody was, they had the lowest rating of any Golden Globe in the history of Golden Globes. Since the globe was invented, since the planet of a globe was invented, they have never had a worse rating. Nobody cares. Does anybody really want to see these people get awards that have everything in life and then sit up there? I'm so super. I got better things to do. But I will say this: I did wanted to watch to see for Best Actor because I like Brendan Fraser. It's not Fraser like the show. It's Fraser. Brendan Fraser. And like Razor. And I wanted to see if he won. I knew he wouldn't because he wasn't there, and he has this controversy going on with the Golden Globe people, the Hollywood Foreign Press. He had filed some claims a few years ago, and he felt really that they were really wronged him, and he was not attending. and I knew they would not nominate. He wouldn't win. He was nominated. Austin Butler won for Elvis. There. So I think though he'll come through in the Oscars. I think Brendan will win for his portrayal in The Whale in the Oscars. I think he will. But a really nice moment. Where's my book? Hold on a second. But I watched. That was pretty much it. But as I was waiting, they had the best supporting actor, and it was awesome because I'm going to give you a little. Here's my setup. I'm going to give you a little setup, and here we go. Let's see if you can recognize who won.
Short round, step on it.
Okie dokie, Dr. Jones, all on your potato. Fine, I'm having the kid driving the car.
Holy smoky, Dr. Jones, hold on to your potatoes. Yes, that was, of course, as a child actor, Ki Hugh Kwan. And 35 years later, you loved him in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom as Short Round. You loved him as Data in The Goonies, which I just saw the other night. It was just on. The Goonies are always on. And Temple of Doom. So and then he wins 35 years later for in the movie Everything and Anything at Once, or what, I don't even know the title. It's that crazy weird movie with Jamie Lee Curtis, and I think the actress won, Michelle Yeoh. She won for Best Supporting Actress, I believe. So it's hard to understand the movie, but I was really happy for him. He listened to some of his interviews. And he talks about how he actually went. It was they used to have these big cattle calls with child actors. It wasn't casting agents or things. It was a very different time back then. And he attended the casting call for Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom with his brother, who was trying to go for the part. And this is what I always say: never bring anybody with you on an audition, because they will always get the part. You will not. It's the same old story. I'm probably blocked now from playing that little clip. Who knows who the powers that be are manning YouTube, Facebook. But if I'm still coming to you, so he goes with his brother. They see Steven Spielberg is there at this cattle call, and he goes, "Who's that kid right there?" And they audition him, screen test him. A week later, they find him out with Harrison Ford. And, of course, they start shooting. Is her name Kate? Oh, my gosh. And who played in... I forget what's her name. Not Karen Allen was the first Indiana Jones. And, of course, the other one. But... he gets the role, and then they liked him so much. Steven Spielberg was the executive producer of Goonies, puts him in the Goonies, which had a lot of young star actors in it. Martha Plimpton, so many others. Josh Brolin, Sean Astin, all of them as kids. It was amazing. And so that was a really cool movie, too. And so then he does these two movies as a child, and he's like, then he goes kind of behind the cameras. He just goes on with a career, not any movies, and he never had any opportunities. And he gets this moment, he wins. So that was a really cool moment. If you get a chance, watch some of his interviews. He's there as an adult now, and in the audience for The Fabelman as Best Director and Best Picture is Steven Spielberg. So he gets a chance. It was a really cool moment. He says thank you to Steven Spielberg for changing his life. It's a very cool moment. It's one cool moment out of a plethora of crap that the industry lays upon you with all of this garb. Jared Carmichael, I get what they were trying to do. I understand, wink, wink. But look, that's the best you could find to host. He was terrible. He was terrible. You can blast me all you want. He was one of the worst I've ever seen. Not the worst, because I've seen bad. I've seen Steve Martin and Alec Baldwin host together the Oscars. I've seen Tina Fey and Amy Poehler when they tried to do the couples hosting. Those things were very bad. This was right on that level. He was terrible. He does stand up in intimate settings. He's funny. He sat in law. The producers kind of think if you could do one thing, you could do anything. And that's not everybody. Not everybody's Robin Williams. Okay? Not everybody can do everything. Not everybody's Billy Crystal. Not everybody can perform in different venues, different arenas, different settings, different mediums. And it's very hard, to just extrapolate and say, well, he's good in doing little stand-up or in sketch comedy. He'll be able to host an award show. No, it's a totally different thing. And he proved it. Anyway, are you excited? I'm excited. I'm so excited. Finally, TBS is putting on quality entertainment. I don't know if you saw this yet, but I'm locked in. There's a new series that's just announced on TBS. It's an 8-part television series called Power Slap. This is fantastic. Listen to this. It's a 8-part. It's a competition, like a sport competition. It's sponsored by UFC promoter and shyster Dana White, and who always looks to jump on any kind of thing he could do to really take advantage of people. So he's a carny. He's a Don King in a different guile. So on TBS, and I'll tell you, I'm not surprised that TBS is doing this, because if you had watched the baseball playoffs and when the Yankees had a rain delay and they put on that show, I think it was called The Square or something. It was this game show that just never ended, and it wasn't even a game show. It was just I think it was called The Square. I don't know what it was called. It was god awful. I don't believe it. Hold on a minute. Look at this. We get a phone call right in the middle of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him. Who is this?
Is this the Steve Squared show?
Oh, we got a caller. Yes, you call. Feel free. What's going on? How can I help you? You are live on the Steve Squared show.
Hey, Mike. First time, long time.
Very good.
What do you think about the Giants' chances next week?
Oh, we were just talking. We already are on the next topic. I'm not sure how the producers let you through. We had talked about that earlier on, but I will say this: Big Blue is gonna eat eagle for dinner. You heard it here.
I know you're feeling great.
I don't know. Is eagle edible?
It's gonna be next Sunday. We're gonna be eating eagle.
Right, you better hope so. I don't know. The Eagles are tough.
Now here's my question. Well, by the way, this is not your average caller. This is, of course. I told everybody we have to change the name of the show because Steve is calling in. We have Richard here. Jeff is sleeping. He never called. Jeff didn't call. But they have made movies about the Eagles. Can you name 2 of them? About
the football Eagles?
Well, yes, not the bald eagle. let's stick with what we're talking about. Yes, the football Philadelphia Eagles. 2 movies. Name them right now.
Well, one is Silver Linings Playbook.
Very good. Silver Linings Playbook, of course, with De Niro and Cooper and what's her face? Scarlett Johansson.
Okay, you're gonna have to help me there, but it's the movie with Mark Wahlberg.
Very.
Replacement? Was that the name?
No, that you're thinking of the one with Gene Hackman and Keanu Reeves.
But Mark Wahlberg was in the one.
Yes, it's also with Elizabeth Banks, and that was Invincible.
Oh, okay, good.
Another Philadelphia Eagle. So, has there been a movie with the Giants? Like featuring like that? I don't think so.
There been movies about the Giants?
The football Giants. Yeah, not.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think so, right?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I wonder why there's a lot of movies focused on the Philadelphia Eagles. Not a lot, but two. And two good ones.
You really? I don't think. Oh, I'm doing some research right now. Let me.
Steve's checking it out for us. While Steve's checking it out, I was just telling everybody two things.
Oh, Steve, there was a movie.
About the Giants?
Yeah, though it was fictional.
Oh,
There's a few of them.
a kids movie?
Okay, here's one called. Here's an R-rated one called Big Fan
Oh, I love R-rated movies.
from 2009 with Patton Oswalt.
I
Played a parking garage employee who's a huge fan of the New York Giants. He lives at home with his mother and spends much of his free time extolling the virtues of his favorite football team on sports radio.
Okay.
One night, Paul and his best friend, Kevin Cork, played by Kevin Corrigan, spy Giants linebacker Quantel Bishop in their neighborhood
Okay.
and follow him to a strip club.
I'm already disinterested. I don't even. And meanwhile, I hear nothing about the Giants.
But the encounter goes very badly.
Of course.
Okay, if you're not into that, there actually was a kind of a family picture. I believe it was called. Facing the Giants.
Yeah,
it was,
I never heard of that.
Yes, it's about. It's about a
Sounds good.
bunch of kids. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm kidding.
I kind of forgot about it.
That's all right. But it's not. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not on the level of Silver Linings Playbook or Invincible. Those are big movies with big actors.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So, but before I get in,
Little Giants.
look, that's what I said. Isn't that with a kids movie? I knew that movie, but that's not the Giants, right? They're just called that. That's not a. Speaking of football movies, there's another football movie coming out with the incredibly, you hate him, I hate him, you all hate him. He's so easy to hate, Tom Brady. 80 for Brady.
You know what?
Don't even go there.
I might see that.
I know you would. Now, for those of you at home
It's
that,
based on a true story.
of course, it's based on a true story.
But actually, no. On Sunday, on CBS yesterday morning, on Sunday morning, they have two of the original ladies that were these Brady fans. The others have either since passed on or they are living somewhere else in homes.
In homes, okay.
Yes.
In Tom Brady's home?
No, I don't think Tom runs.
No, I thought they were in Tom Brady's home.
Yeah, I know. I know what you meant. I didn't say that.
So let me bring people up to speed because they're probably confused. There's a horrible movie coming out called 80 for Brady. I saw the trailer or something like that. And it's, I guess based loosely on the true story about these four women, senior citizen, elderly women, and they go to Houston to see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. He's their, I guess, favorite player, the team, whatever. Somebody, somewhere, some producer who obviously is in bed with Tom Brady,
You're always so.
No, let me finish.
You make this stuff.
Greenlit. I didn't make anything up. You know this is the truth. They greenlit this dreck, and for some reason, 4 Academy Award-winning actresses. I guess they needed some money right now. Lily Tomlin, who's not my favorite of the 4, so I start with her. Jane Fonda, Sally Field, and Whoopi Goldberg. No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody's favorite Latina actress.
Oh, Rita Moreno. I thought you were going to say Zsa Zsa Gabor. I would have recast this with Zsa Zsa Gabor, Whoopi Goldberg. I could have 4 other women. But anyway, I mean, you won an Academy Award for Clute. You were Norma Ray. The Flying Nun! What are you doing?
I don't think she won anything flying.
No, but you know what I mean. Iconic roles. You're a legend. Come on. Oh boy. You were in, Smokey and the Bandit. Oh my God. What are you people? God. 9 to 5. Oh. They should have did Dolly Parton. I think she would have been better. That would have been fun. I would have saw it if Dolly Parton was in it.
You don't like the others?
I would have replaced Dolly Parton with Lily Tomlin. I don't care for Lily, but I think Dolly would have added a lot of spunk to it.
I've been looking at a couple of the reviews. They say it's pleasant.
Oh, good. That's what I want to see. It's pleasant. Donald Pleasant?
80s for Brady isn't a for the ages score setter, but it makes the goal when it counts, says the Hollywood Reporter.
Of course it does. They're not going to blast it because
Why can't you sit and have a good time?
I don't want to. I don't want to ever have a good time. This show is not about having a good time. It's about anger. You should know that by now. Hey, but speaking of anger, and speaking of quality TV, when you called, I was just about to drop this. Dana White, and you probably heard this already.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now you're talking quality entertainment. Power Slap is coming to TBS. So let me explain this quality. This is gold. Now, this is great. So two people stand next to each other, and it's going to be, what they do is they have to stand on a line, and they haul off and smack the other one in the face, and see who can recover and take it without falling over. And they just keep smacking each other. Well, only leave it to Dana White to do this. Now, he said he got this idea, this great epiphany of smacking people in the face from social media posts in 2017. I got it when Tennessee and Mississippi joined the Union. So they're televising this. TBS, of course, jumps into the pool. Of course, TBS does. And they buy this 8 parts. I don't know what the money exchange was, and they're assembled by rankings, and it's a whole thing, men and women divisions. This is fantastic. I mean, look, if you don't get enough slapping in your home, you can finally take something that drunken people are good at in bars. And do it professionally.
Okay, I know you're laughing at yourself and your funny little jokes there, funny man.
Yes.
But you know the irony of this.
Tell me.
Now, first thing, this is true, right?
Of course it is. You know it.
You know what happened down in Mexico with Dana White. He slapped his wife.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes.
So why would he do this? Money. But I only know that he's a sleazebag. He's really, he's one of these like I said, he's a Don King in a different outfit, and he doesn't really care. And if this will make money, and tons of people will watch it.
Oh, sure.
Now, I would watch it if they were grouped by regional, like if there was a New York Slappers, the New York slap patty cake slappers. I mean, but I don't think this is going to be. I think this is just. I mean, where have we gotten? Where has it? Right when I think it's at the epiphany of the end, it gets more. The line gets pushed.
Of course.
But how could they put this on TV and they're talking about a whole? And you know me, I don't care about it. I love family. I don't care. But I'm in such a woke world. They put something like this on. I'm just amazed that this gets approved and greenlit and go.
That's entertainment.
That's entertainment.
I have to tell you, you should be careful of it because I'm watching you now. You know, Richard looks a little slanted, like he's about to fall off. Like, can't you straighten him up a little bit?
How's that?
Richard looks looks a little slanted, like he's going to fall off the, whatever that thing is.
Well, I have him. If you'll see, I'll raise it. He's on a can of Flex Seal. He's on a can. I was using that earlier for my cracked hands. Because I couldn't get a cream and an ointment to fix my hands. Hey, Steve, forget about Power Slap. How excited were you for Short Round? Ki Hyung Kwan winning for the Golden Globe.
I was very excited.
I thought that was a nice moment. I don't like these award shows, but I was happy for him.
I was happy for him. Yes, I was. And he seemed like a very genuine person.
He was so great. He was. I mean, he was amazing.
Do you know this? Do you know his entertainment lawyer? Who his entertainment lawyer is?
Who's his entertainment lawyer?
The guy who was in the Goonies with him.
Which one?
I don't know which one because I don't watch it that much.
You know, the Goonies were just on last night.
I'll tell you in a second if I can just look and see. But yeah, of course it's not Sean Astin.
It's not Josh Brolin, obviously.
No, it's not actors.
Right. Oh, okay. Was it
Chunk?
Chunk. I was gonna say, was it Chunk?
Yes, Jeff Cohen.
Jeff Cohen. Okay.
Is his entertainment lawyer.
That is so funny.
Is that great?
That is great. Hold on a second here. I had something to show you. That is very... I was watching... What was I watching? Wait, let me see here. I don't want to talk about bunnies right now. Hold on a second. This may be later, but what do you think about the gambling at the Coliseum, that they're trying to get this Sands Hotel and gambling casino going? What do you think about that?
You know what? Nothing is going to be put down there unless they build a mall on it.
It says here there's going to be celebrity chefs and more. They said if you think it's just this was the guy, the head of the Sands, the spokesman, the Carney, the Dana White of the Sands. He said it's going to bring lots of jobs. Look, if you're looking to be a blackjack dealer, come on down. You want to dance on a pole? You don't know what to do with your life? Come on down. It's beautifully located right next to Nassau Community College. Actually, Nassau Community College is thinking of having a gambling degree. I think that's going to be good.
This, Steve, this may restart your showbiz career.
I was thinking of that. This is the East Coast. I always felt I belonged to do some shtick in Vegas. But the weather's too hot there. So this is beautiful for me. They'll probably be looking for entertainers. We should do something there.
Yeah, right.
You know?
You can get up those taps.
I'll get out my tap shoes and I'll bring Richard with me. I can imagine the interview going very similar to the interview we had to get the Steve Square show at Governor's. So what do you do, huh? What goes on here? You say funny things? Is that it?
I could see you working the room,
I would love that. I hope this goes through because I'm excited for the new element it'll bring to Hempstead Turnpike. I love elements. You know me. I'm a big element guy. Hey, Dr. Jones! Dr. Jones!
Oh, my God. Wow.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
God.
Oh, stop it. Nobody's watching. What are you worried about?
I'm fine.
You're fine. Nobody even sees you. I'm the one that's going to be canceled on Twitter tomorrow. Not even on Twitter. It says here, they're going to have a casino, a day spa. They're going to have pools, hotels. It's going to be 4-star restaurants, 5-star restaurants. It's going to be amazing.
When it's approved.
When it's approved. The Sands is going to take over the Coliseum lease. This is going to be amazing. It says, the company officials did not address how the arena, opened in 1972, would fit into the project. It says, our announcement today is the first part of the journey. So they're putting forward a proposal. and hopefully it'll go through. They already have headliners lined up. Mel Torme will be on opening night. He'll be performing. You think they can get Wayne Newton?
Who knows?
This should be something. I always thought there should be more gambling on Long Island.
Yes.
I feel like we're the Las Vegas of the East Coast. Now, this is good. And, because I feel like Hempstead Turnpike doesn't have enough traffic.
It'd probably be very good for you because, I wouldn't like to see you on the road, with, less cars. That means you'll go and you'll fly all over the place. At least you'll have a car in front of you.
Yes, that is true. And I think it's a perfect idea because I think it's very accessible to 2 college campuses where the kids in between classes can go and spend all their parents' money. I think it's fantastic because it's very close to Planet Fitness. You get a workout out, right? Then you run right over and spend the rest of your money. Or the Tri-County, you don't waste your money at the Tri-County Flea Market anymore. Or the International House of Pancakes. That's what I mean. You don't waste your money there. You go to the Sands. Are they going to call it the Sands? It doesn't say what they're going to call it.
It probably won't be called the Sands.
I would have to, right?
And that's if it's ever opened.
You don't have a lot of hope, huh?
Well, look what happened with the White House project.
Yes, there's a lot of things on Long Island that always ends up in red tape. There's you know what? Where is there an awful lot of red tape, Steve?
In the bush.
There's tons of red tape in the bush, and what happens is nothing gets done. Nothing ever gets done in the bush. So, so I guess we'll have to wait and see with that. I was going to mention something else. Well, that's pretty exciting. There was something I was going to show you. Oh, here it is. Oh, Steve, you went and give us a movie review. Didn't you see Puss in Boots?
Yes, I did see Puss in Boots.
Tell us.
It was cute. It was really funny,
Did you like it better than Puss in Boots 1? Oh, you didn't see Puss in Boots 1. Were you lost in Puss in Boots 2?
I guess so, I don't know. Well, I thought didn't you say you went to see Puss in Boots?
No, I had seen on TV. Yeah.
You saw all that other Puss in Boots.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what that is, Steve.
You have to believe in yourself every moment of every day.
Thank you, Richard.
I saw the adult version. What would you give it on Rot Tomat? What are you giving it? What is the Steve Tomato score?
I'll give it a 80, 88.
Wow! So you liked it. You were engaged.
I was. It was quite enjoyable.
Now, I know you've been really turning the corner and really doing the fitness thing and all of that jazz. Did you have a snack?
I only had a Diet Coke. That was all I had.
Good. Okay.
But I will say, I did go to Wendy's before.
Oh.
And I got a chicken sandwich.
Okay.
But that's all I had. I tried to stay away from the fries.
Good.
Because that's really the killer. I mean, you could get away when you go to these fast food places. You can have the sandwich.
Right.
It's the fry. The fries are just really.
Now, was it a grilled chicken sandwich or a fried chicken sandwich?
I got the fries.
Oh, you see, I thought they must have a grilled.
They probably,
Most places now do, right?
Of course they do. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So what do I tell you? 80% of the time, be good, right?
I mean, I had a good day the rest of the day.
Exactly.
I wasn't,
You've been doing good. You've been going for your walks. Did you get a walk in today? It was kind of nice out.
It was, but I was at work, so
Oh.
I couldn't do that.
All right.
But I made healthy choices.
Are we keeping?
I
I hope we're not keeping you awake.
And I had banana, and I had I didn't make. I had the little chicken bowl with chipotle.
Okay.
Just chicken and rice.
I was going to tell you, this is perfect that you're on, because you might be able to answer this question for us. My mom was watching one of these Lifetime channel movies, and it was promoted a lot. How to Murder Your Husband, the Nancy Brophy story. And I'm sure a lot of women were tuned into this. I'm sure an awful lot of women were tuned.
This is as bad as telling you how to build an atomic bomb.
Well, yeah, this is how to murder your husband. And again, based on a true story, Nancy Brophy murdered her husband. She's a romance novelist. And I'm not sure what year she did this, when she murdered her husband. It says Brophy, a self-published romance novel in Portland, Oregon, who in June at 72 was sentenced to life in prison. Wow, she killed her husband at the age of 72. Oh, she killed him just recently, 2018.
Wow.
So it was portrayed. Listen to this cast. Sybil Shepherd plays the woman, and Steve Guttenberg, Massapequa's own Steve Guttenberg, plays the murdered husband. I wonder. Again, these actors never made. They're these. They were at a pinnacle, and now they're doing Lifetime. What are they doing? This was so bad. The movie.
You know what?
I know.
You don't. Stardom doesn't go on forever.
I know. It's hard to see.
Sometimes it's just good to be working.
No, of course. I look. The phenomenal career. Steve is doing a lot of stuff. He's funny. I like him. He's a kind of personable guy. He's actually just a funny guy. He's good in interviews. And who doesn't love Three Men and a Baby?
There you go.
Or Police Academy, for that matter. Give me something else he's done. Why is that the only two things I know?
Cocoon.
Okay.
Diner. Great movie, Diner.
Okay. It's funny. I have a connection to Steven Guttenberg. Not much. But I went to a concert for my friend Jen, who's a wonderful violinist. And he was the narrator at I think it was at Post College. He was the narrator, and it was a concerto about the Civil War times and Lincoln, and so he would narrate, and he was very good. And I went up to see my friend Jen afterwards, and I saw Steve, and he was very good. There's two shows that you can no way identify the actors. And the one show, I did not know that was Steve Guttenberg. If you watch it, you'll never know in a million years. And the other was who was the woman that was the married, I think Julia Roberts played her just recently. Martha Mitchell. Sean Penn played her husband.
Played John Mitchell.
And you could not recognize him. I mean...
Yes. No, he was amazing. All that makeup.
Oh, I mean, I couldn't even avoid, I was like, and I knew it was him, and I was like, I can see, it was, those two, in those two roles, I mean, unbelievable. But, not that they were amazing, it's just to identify them was very hard, but, my mom enjoyed the How to Murder Your Husband. My dad better watch out. My dad sits down, and he goes, "What are you watching?" And my mom goes, "How to Murder Your Husband." And my dad gets up and goes in the kitchen. What's going on here? They love each other. They're good. They're okay. They're good. We're missing the big party tonight.
What party is that?
The Governor's Comedy Club ball.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
They're all partying it up at, or who's ever there at, we doing the show, but it's a big fiesta. It's a real extravaganza.
Exactly. Wow.
That's going on at Governor's. See, they're having their holiday party tonight. I guess it's a holiday party, and it's a few weeks late. Not that bad. January 16th, or maybe it's I don't know what it is. Maybe they were all off today for Martin Luther King Day. Not sure, but anyway.
Right.
But they had their party and they said they were sorry. Tony said he's sorry, missed us, but he'll tell everybody we said hello. The Steve Squared Show.
Sure.
Unless you want me to pick you up right after we shoot down there, say hello, make a splash. Now we went to one of these.
We went last. A few years.
It was a few years ago. Definitely one. I don't even think they had it over the last couple of years, with everything. So I think it was maybe 2019.
Right.
Probably around that, or yeah. And they're all good. They're all nice people over there.
Oh, absolutely.
They're very good people. I joke around a lot, but they're Tony, Sally, a lot of the people over there, the people that do shows, they're all fun and they love what they do. Nobody's making millions of dollars.
No, it's the labor of love.
It's a labor. Thank you, labor of love. That's what I do. That's the story of my life. That should be my next book.
Yes.
Actually,
Sounds like something you could make on the Lifetime Network.
that should be. I should write the screenplay. That should be my mom's book, A Labor of Love, and I'm, she labor, and I'm her child. That's a good, right? I was a labor of love. You like that, huh?
God.
Don't tell me nothing. How to Marry Your Husband and Power Slap is now the quality of TV we're getting. Don't tell me Labor of Love wouldn't have a spot somewhere on some channel.
You're right.
I could put me and Richard on something right now.
Loving yourself is one of the most important things in the world.
You tell him, Richard. For those of you, he says loving yourself is one of the most important things in the world to do.
That's what Richard says.
So who could play Richard Simmons in the Richard Simmons story?
I guess say the one and only Steve K.
I would love that. I would curl. I have the wig. It would be perfect. I would love it. Oh boy, would I get into that role.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but last night, think of this. This could be an award winner.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, who won Best Actor in, I believe, in a TV movie or miniseries or whatever on the Critics' Choice Awards.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe.
For,
That's weird.
Oh no. You know what? I can't say anything because I didn't see it.
I know, none of us say. I've seen clips of it. It's a little goofy.
It looks campy.
It's very campy. But I mean,
that's fine. That's fine.
It's Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, exactly. It is, and I don't mind the quality or the campiness. I'm just curious to see how Daniel Radcliffe, because it really doesn't seem.
I mean, he wasn't there anyway because he's doing. I think merrily we roll along here. So.
Oh, okay.
So he's a real thespian, as you know.
I do know he's a real good thespian. Now, Steve, I started playing chess. Are you proud of me? I was telling everybody earlier on. I was learning how to play chess.
Who are you playing with?
The computer.
Oh, how's it going?
It's good. I'm learning. I have a chess set because I saw this chess set I had, and I was very excited about it. Oh, Steve, do you remember we were talking about, and I'll say this fast, I was looking, at the time went by so fast, I know we've got to close up.
Yeah.
But a couple of movies, we were talking a little bit about it last time, and we were talking about how Stranger Things made a couple of songs really popular. Never Ending Story, and the Kate Bush song, Running Up the Hill. So I found a couple others that became famous from rebooted, got more fame again, and tell me what you think of these.
Okay.
Stand By Me with the Benny King song.
Right.
It was a 1961 song, and 1986 was the movie, and of course it got big again. It went to number 9 again that year.
Yeah, that was huge.
Do you know the guy that played Vern in Stand By Me?
The guy who played Vern.
The kid that played Vern. He was a little chubby kid.
Yeah, you mean what's Jerry O'Connell?
Jerry O'Connell. So I didn't even put 2 and 2 together, and I'm watching a little Jerry Maguire the other night, and they have Cush, he's the quarterback that Jerry Maguire is trying to close, and that's him.
Yeah, that is him.
I was in shock. I forgot. I didn't know that. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I was like, look at he's turned into this.
Yeah.
Rico Suave. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
And now
married to beautiful women.
To very beautiful women.
He was married to Rebecca Romaine.
Mm-hmm. Who is also
he's married to her now. Is he married to her now? Yeah, right?
I don't know. That I don't know. And wait, let me give you this 2 more quick before we close. I'll say the song. You tell me the movie. Twist and Shout.
The movie?
That because obviously you know the song Twist and Shout, and
I don't know.
You'll kill yourself for not getting this.
I don't remember at all Twist and Shout.
Well, you know the song.
Yes.
Right? Little louder now. Little louder. No. Twist and not that one. Right? Twist and Shout. Yeah. Twist a little closer. Yeah. So Twist and Shout. Was that an Isley brother or Beatles? Who did it first?
Originally by the Isley Brothers.
Right.
The Beatles covered it.
Okay. So you'll kill yourself. Rodney Dangerfield in Back to School.
Oh yeah, the same year. In 1 year. The Beatles version was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
right?
And Rodney Dangerfield did that in Back to School. Well, I thought you were talking. The movie is called Twist and Shout.
Oh no! I mean, just like what I'm saying, like that rebooted a song to fame, to more focus.
That was 2 reasons why it was a hit. Yeah, and both the Beatles Twist and Shout started playing that year, and as well as yeah.
And I'll give you one more, and this is an easy one because it's the title of the song is the title of the movie. It's a 1960. I'll say that I got to give you a clue. It's a 1964 song by the Temptations.
My Girl.
Yeah, baby, My Girl. With a great Macaulay Culkin and
what's her name?
she's in Veep and she's really good.
Yeah.
Sutton Fuss is her name. Sutton Fuss is her name in the Anna Chomsky. She's very good. I love her, and they were both so good in that movie. And of course, Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis. Really good cast. Very sweet movie. And there was some others, but those were a couple of others, which was really good. Believe It or Not by Joey Scarborough, but that was written for the show, I think.
What was that?
Believe It or Not by Joey Scarborough.
Yeah, that was written for the movie, for the TV show.
Yeah, Greatest American Hero. Right. I like that. I play that when I'm working out sometimes.
I like the George version on Seinfeld.
That is true. Oh my gosh, look at this. We're running over. They're gonna scream. They're probably yelling at me right now from the Governor's Comedy Club. Why don't they stop this show? Anyway, so that was all. Thanks for jumping on, buddy. That was fun. That was a nice surprise, and we got to do some movie stuff. And I didn't get to the thing I wanted to, but I'll save that for next week. Well, hopefully we might. There's a studio sighting. Tony wants us in there. We're excited. So if it goes well, I'm sure I'll get a text during the week. But let's keep our fingers crossed. Anyway, for myself, for Steve Arino on the phone, remote, in an undisclosed location, for Richard Simmons, for my plant who's doing an amazing recovery. We all want you to have a wonderful, again, on Martin Luther King Day, have a wonderful week. And we'll see you next Monday, same time.